Alright, so this little thing is a Terco trainer. We got it from a school auction. I think it's from around the 80s, maybe? Early 80s? I don't know. It would have come with a huge NC control box that we didn't get. But it did come with these MAE steppers, which aren't bad for what they are. It's got a little 180 watt spindle, but I, th- I think that's totally uh, derated. I mean, I think that was the limitation of the control. I think this thing's probably 100 watts or something like that. The motor's pretty big. Permanent magnet. I'm planning on running it with one of these AMC drives initially and see what I can get out of it. And part of this was I wanted something to tinker with here in the basement, and I had this lead shine, which used to be in the green machine, but the green machine had a power supply that was putting out about 65 volts, and I wasn't paying attention. I didn't notice it. And I think it took this out. It actually shorted two of the MOSFETs on the it would have been the Z-axis stepper drive. So this is my first time, I think, using hot air, and I had bought some replacements and replaced them, and so far it's been running good. So that's awesome. So this spindle is Morris taper number 1. It came with this. It actually screws up into this to tighten it in. But I don't know this collet. Wow. Just call me Linus Tech Tips, huh? So it says on it, what does it say? It says somewhere. Was it here? Maybe it was here. There it is. So it's got a part number 5533, and it's an E slash. That's about all I can tell you, because it says that on here too. An E slash. I did a little searching, really couldn't find anything. What I do have coming is a ER11, I think, to Morris taper, which will get me by. This is 1/4 inch, so I can use this as one. And probably what I'll do is I'll maybe make up some tooling that screws on here, because this thing actually had a lathe option where it used the spindle, and you screwed a chuck, 4-jaw chuck or a 3-jaw chuck on here, and it registered on this collar and this edge. So I might do something like that, make up some tooling for it. I don't know yet. I'm still at the beginning stages, but the travel on this is 7 by about 3Y, and Z is about 3 inches. It's a little less than 3 inches. And the problem is the travel's so short and it moves pretty fast. I think X and Y is 120 and Z is 42, I think, is where I left it. I wasn't getting stalling at those speeds with this lead shine, because the Z-axis is actually geared 2-to-1, and then it's at 10 threads per inch lead screw, and same for the other 2 axes, but they're direct coupled. Going kind of jumping around here, but the spindle you can rotate, and then also rotate this way and move it up and down. So for this, I think a really small kinematic probe would be good, because then you could just move this where you need it to work. Maybe you had a part that was a little too big and you needed to machine over here, you could move the spindle over and probe off of something, and you know, yeah, I'll make do. It's a cool little machine. It's kind of, so this kind of reminds you of a little knee mill, without like a drill press style quill. So um, it's kind of how this is made. I don't know if it was made this way to kind of, at the time, Bridgeports were popular and the CNC Bridgeports were popular. Not sure. But I was saying before, the travel's so low that, or so small, that when I was setting it up, I kept running it into the hard stops, and it's this thing will jam itself into a hard stop, and it's hard to get it back off again unless you actually turn the lead screw. So I put home switches on it. That was the first thing I did, and so far so good. I'll I'll have a tight video of it homing, but you can see it here again. So it does Z first, then it does X, and you can see it. And then it moves to one end of its travel. So Y moves to 0, X moves to 7 inches, and Z moves to 0, and it's negative up, which is kind of the opposite of what a normal machine would be. I'll have to see if I can switch the jog keys on for Z-axis, because it's the opposite of what you think, because normally the spindle would come down, and so page down normally would run the spindle down, but it actually runs the table up. So it kind of throws you off. I mean, it makes sense because you're going negative. The table going up is going negative in the coordinate system, but it kind of throws you off the first time you do it. So yeah, and the other thing that might be nice to get for this is a small high-speed spindle. Maybe find one that either will fit here, which I don't know if you could, or make a different head for it that the high-speed spindle would fit into. These are nice. They're all casted. This is all casted, which is kind of nice. So, but other than that, what else was I gonna say about this? Kids running around upstairs again. So yeah, I'll get the spindle on this, and I was gonna run a little program here to kind of show it run through a motion. Let's see it. Pretty exciting stuff. I think it would be kind of cool to put ball screws in this at some point, but for what I'm doing, I don't know if it's super critical. This is mainly me being able to play around with stuff. I think I might mount an encoder up here so I can get spindle RPM. I don't know if I'd ever do rigid tapping on this, but or I could probably do like non-circular boring or something on it. Depends on how slow the spindle gets. But yeah, so far I got to come up with some, either a little vise or at least some hold downs so I can mount stuff on here. And when I get the spindle hooked up, I'll make another video. So talk to you guys later. Oh, one last thing. I'm running it off the printer port for now. I was gonna kind of see what the performance is like and what's stable, and then go to a like a Mesa card and see how much better the performance is, which should be pretty huge. Well, not huge, but I would guess Z would go faster because the pulse train would be a little smoother. Because I think I was running this on when I was testing the trajectory planner, and I think I was running this on a Mesa card, but I was also using different drives. I was using some, what brand were they? They were Parker, I think. So they were like, you plugged them in, so they're 110 volts, and that's what it used to create the voltage for the stepper drive. So they were really high voltage, so they were probably a little better performance than this lead shine. So, and I think I'd have to look back, but I think I was getting over 100 inches per minute on the Z-axis. I don't know. I think I was getting 200 inches per minute on the X and Y, and maybe 100 on Z. I guess I'd have to go back and look at my notes, but yeah. So this lead shine has an analog out. That's what I'll use for the AMC drive, and then see what kind of I/O I have. I'm using it up. I like having a home switch for each axis. So I used up 3 inputs right there. And maybe I'll do an actual real e-stop for this. So we'll see. And because I didn't get the video edited before I did this, I threw together the AMC drive and hooked it into the lead shine. So the lead shine is sending the AMC drive an enable and 0 to 10 volts. Well, it's 44 millivolts to like 8 point something volts, and it's not scaled yet or anything like that, but it spins. So you want to see it spin? Let me do this with my left hand and be fumbling about. So it's not scaled yet, and I have no clue what RPM this is running, but it sounds nice. So that's when it starts rotating at about 1.2 volts. I haven't played with the gains and stuff on this yet. I might be able to make that work better, or I can just scale it in software. I don't know yet. We'll see. But, whoops. Let's go the right way. So that's top speed. So this is getting run with 110 volts into the AMC drive. I don't know what, I'm assuming this ran on 110 volts. So I'm assuming that should be around 2500 RPM, but I don't have any way to check that right now. I was trying to think if I had an app on my phone to do this, but I don't think so. But slow it down a little. So there we go. We have the 3 main components. Now putting it, in a box with an e-stop and however I'm going to do that. I hadn't thought that far ahead yet, but it all seems to work together. And this still works. I suppose we could do a... Hold on. What would be a Linux CNC demo without running the Linux CNC splash screen, huh? Granted, I'm not cutting anything, but it's moving around. Should I cut it in the table? Yeah, I don't think so. Somebody already did. Right there. I don't even know what that is. It's quite an... I don't even know. Weird. Maybe somebody dropped something on it. It's a weird shape. But somebody tried to plug it. I don't know, but there you go. Drives are pretty quiet. Spindle's pretty quiet. So, anyway. Alright, now I'm done.